Greetings, everyone. My name is Prabir.
Let's just have a look at the process for installing the AppHost. So there are a couple of steps that we need to perform in order to install the AppHost for QRadar SOAR. Typically, you need to install, or typically we do recommend to install the AppHost for QRadar SOAR on a different system than the SOAR platform. So SOAR platform is a system, and then SOAR AppHost is another system. Now the installers are available. There are two installers. One is .run file, which is standalone installation, which requires your own operating system, which has been laid out during the first half of the presentation, the prerequisites. It supports Red Hat Enterprise Linux. And the other one is .ova file if you have an ESX server. So from there, you can just go there and then import the .ova file into the ESX and then follow the on-screen instructions to deploy the AppHost. The difference is that the .run file doesn't contain or does not pack an operating system RHEL, whereas .ova contains the OS as well as the SOAR platform or the SOAR AppHost software. This is what it looks like when you try to install on a standalone server. So we have installed the operating system RHEL 7.9. On top of that, we have downloaded the AppHost, and the numbers that you are seeing, 1.14.1.6.1.1, that is the version of the AppHost. So that has been downloaded onto the same system where we have installed RHEL 7.9 and then executing using the command sudo bash and followed by the .run file. And once you do that, it will try to uncompress and then try to install. It'll check few of the prerequisite about the disk space and then the RAM. And if you see somewhere down the line installing K3s. So we'll learn about K3s shortly. Okay. Moving on to the next one. This is where the next step, once you install the AppHost, the next step is about creating the pairing code. And this pairing code creation is done on the SOAR platform, not on the AppHost, because the AppHost doesn't have a UI. Okay. So the UI that you are saying is from the SOAR platform. So you have to go there with the pop-up permission, like the admin permission, who has access to the administrative settings. Click on the right side top on the username, and then drop down, you'll see administrative settings. And then you'll see the add. I'm just going through it so that you have an understanding of how we are going to do it. We'll see this in demo. And once you do that, on the right side, edit AppHost. So there will be a name. You just have to give a name for the AppHost, because on a single installation of the AppHost can be created multiple instances of AppHost, right? So we have to give it a name and then click on save. Once you do save that, it will generate a pairing code, which will be a JSON block, something looks like on the left side of the screen, which will have the key pair, name, the ID, and various things. So once you do that, we'll have to just copy it over to the AppHost and then pair it. We'll see how to do that. And once it is successful, on the AppHost, on the SOAR platform, we'll be able to see the status of the AppHost, the name of the AppHost, followed by the version and the CPU usage. And the status, there is a green circle that you're seeing besides running. So the running is the status, and then everything is okay, which is green, right? So let's jump onto the system for a demo. All right, so I'm going to log into one of the org which doesn't have an AppHost so that we can see what we need to do. Zoom it a little bit. Okay, so this is the test org. So if you go ahead and then click on it, administrator settings, and then you go to apps. So this is where you're going to install the AppHost, and you just have to click add here. Okay, click on add, and then I'm going to give it a name, AppHost 3. Okay, you can give it a description as well, and add AppHost. Okay, once you do this, what will happen is that I will give you an informational banner which says action required. Copy this code before you close. You need it when installing the AppHost, and you can retrieve this code again. Okay, so what we can do, we can just copy to clipboard. Okay, this whole block is copied. Then we can go to the AppHost. This is the AppHost. All right, so I'll let you see the version. Cat etc Red Hat release. It is the 7.9 version operating system. So this has been mentioned. Also, RHEL 8 is supported. The version 8 also supported. RHEL 9 is not supported yet. So those versions are mentioned in the prerequisites of the document. You can follow that. Here, what we can do, we can just pairing code apphost2.json, and then sorry, pin is not there. Okay, then we can paste it. So once this is done, we can go ahead and then there is a command called manage AppHost. Okay, so we want to give it a help because not everything can be remembered. So it displays the available commands: install, upgrade registry proxy. So the install says install an AppHost. So we're going to go there and then pass in the command install, and then also type help so that we can see what options it can take. So here we don't need certificate. This is the one, pairing info. So the AppHost pairing information file, if no value is specified, then it will be prompted. So it will prompt. You can copy paste directly, or you can directly type P followed by the pairing code and apphost2.json. So once you hit this command, it's going to install the AppHost or pair the AppHost basically. All right. So that has been already done. So I'm not going to do it again. I'm just going to switch it to that, org where I have configured that AppHost. Before we go ahead, let's say if somehow you did copy, but maybe for some unknown reason, right, you forgot to paste it, or the clipboard has been overwritten for some other reason, right? And you lost this code. Okay, I'm just going to complete it. And then while going to the, once you are in the AppHost, and then you lost the pairing information for this AppHost 3, what do you do? So right now, once you create any AppHost here, once you create the pairing code, there will be tile. See, we have 2 AppHost now. So you can have multiple AppHost. Until the host is paired, AppHost is paired with the SOAR platform, you will see this kind of tile where the version information will be unknown, and then the pairing status is unpaired. Okay, so if you click on the info button, it will show the AppHost is not configured with the pairing information. So we have not, we have not paired or install command. We have not run the install command with the pairing code, right, on the AppHost yet. If we happen to forgot that pairing code, what you can do, you can click on here and then renew. Okay, click on renew, and then you just have to click renew. Okay, so here it will again generate this. If you see this, do not click renew for an active AppHost with apps installed and running, because that will break the integration. If you lose the pairing information when creating an AppHost, click renew. All right, this is that. So the very first information, the very first time you're trying to pair and somehow lose the pairing information, you can come here and regenerate it. Okay, just going to click complete. Now I'm going to log into a different org where I have configured this one. Okay, so let's head over to administrator settings, apps. And you see this? We have one instance of AppHost running, which is named as AppHost1. Once the pairing is successful, so that unknown has gone away, and then we are able to see the version of the AppHost that we installed, 114.1.6.1.1. Also the CPU usage and the status running. Okay. Now, once that is done, so the AppHost will be running perfectly. That means the AppHost successfully. Okay. And so as I said, this is a, Kubernetes based deployment, which is K3s. So once we install the AppHost, it installed a service called K3s. So this is that service, K3s active running, and it says lightweight Kubernetes. So just to give you a brief about this Kubernetes distribution, K3s, you might have heard about the K8s, okay? Kubernetes, which is typically known as K8s, is a full-blown Kubernetes distribution that is designed for large-scale production deployments. And K3s is a lightweight distribution, okay, which requires a very less memory footprints or processing units. And then, so once that is done, so that is K3s, Kubernetes in short. Once this process is done, once the app host is ready, what would be the next part? The ideal part is that ideal step is that we are going to look for an app which we can install, right? So for that, I have already installed these two apps, okay? But once you install the app, you will not see any of this app already installed. There is no pre-installed app available, okay? So it will be completely blank, okay? As you go ahead and click on install and then keep on adding apps, it will create additional tiles, okay? Need an app. So this is the tile which is by default available. It says extend the SOAR capabilities with the ready to install business partner apps and add-ons. And for that, we have to go to the App Exchange. So this is the same platform where other IBM products hosts their extension or applications. So you see these products, Cloud Pack for Security, Guardian, Mass 360, QRadar SIM, and QRadar SOAR, okay? So right now, QRadar SOAR does have more than 300 integration, all right? So these are all, once you click this, these are all the extension available for installation on the SOAR plan. We can go ahead and look for, any app. So let's say outbound email for SOAR, okay? So if you go there, I'll say download. Once you click on download, so it will ask you to accept the terms. Once you accept the terms, then you'll be able to download it, okay? It is downloaded. It gives you a nice, file integrity checksum there so that you can verify whether the download is corrupted or not, which is a nice thing, by the way. And so once that is done, we just have to go ahead and click on this button which says install and select the file, okay? And then click on this extension, all right? Unlike the QRadar applications, these extensions are very less in sizes. And by the way, I was talking about the differences between the QRadar AppHost and SOAR AppHost. So the very basic difference is that, QRadar AppHost is a managed AppHost, meaning the same, you cannot install on QRadar AppHost using any other RHEL operating system, or for that matter, any operating system. So it has to use the QRadar ISO file because it's a managed, appliance. So if you happen to know the QRadar SIM environment, so all the managed servers, so those are managed applications. This is another managed host in a QRadar deployment, QRadar SIM deployment. But unlike QRadar AppHost, this SOAR AppHost can be installed using an RHEL OS of your own. Okay, and then on top of that, you just have to run additional file, which will install an AppHost, right? And this is the container manager for both the platform. For QRadar AppHost is a natively developed, container manager, which is a conman. There is a service conman conrep. So conman short, that's for container manager, conman service. And then the container manager in QRadar AppHost is basically a Kubernetes lightweight Kubernetes, which is K3s that manages the container. So once we install the application, which is in the form of zip file, eventually it's going to end up as a container within that K3s environment. So you have to click on upload file, and it gives you the information what is found in the package. Okay, so these are the packages that is going to install. Click on next and it will show you all the details, so API key permissions. So all the integration that you install or application will need an API key, and it will be created by default upon the installation of the app. And on with what permission it will be installed, it shows you here, right? View more one. So the API key that will be created with the following permission. This permissions that will be created, and the package contains 31 customizations. So that customization includes email conversations, which is a data type table, functions, function input. We'll talk about functions and function inputs in detail in our playbook session. And then, you have a message destination, you have a playbook. We'll talk about this, type, object type in the playbook session, all right? And the script. So once you have verified, so whether if any of the object type or field does exist, it will say that it does exist already, and then you'll see updated. For non-existent field, it will say it will be newly added, okay? Once you click that install button, it'll take a moment. It doesn't take as much time as, the QRadar same app, because those apps are designed in a different thing and meant for different thing. Also huge in sizes, not huge in sizes, but it has a significant amount of, significant amount of file. Those are itself a server, runs as a server, the apps, but this is not. These are the integration files. So once the installation is successful, you'll see the message installation successful, and then it's ready to configure. To configure your app for use, close this wizard and click on the configuration tab. That's what it says. So close. And unlike, QRadar applications, which is ready to go once you install it, so just have to put in a authorized service token. That's about it. But this needs a little bit more configuration in the sense that, this integration app, you can call it the integration app or the SOAR app, whatever you like. But these apps are, not full-blown applications, so it doesn't run like a server, right? Those are the integration code which integrates the available security solutions in your premises, okay, or in the cloud to the existing SOAR platform, right? So it has to know, it has to know it has to authorize or authenticate and authorize against the solution that you're trying to integrate. Let's say you're trying to integrate QRadar, right, into the SOAR platform. Then you have to configure the integration, SOAR integration app on this SOAR platform, basically. If you want to query the QRadar server and get some events for a particular user or IP address, let's say if you want to perform some kind of search from the SOAR platform itself and bring in some events, right? Then that can be done with the SOAR integration, SOAR app, right? So that we'll talk about it in the upcoming session of the integration part 2, right? About the QRadar integration. So right now, so we have to do some configuration here, which is customization. You see this? Those all customizations came in here also. So what kind of information is there? And then we'll do configuration. All right. So I'm not going to take this as an example. I'm going to take another example of the app, which will be easier to understand. So we have already done this LDAP authentication in our earlier session, right? So that will be easier to understand. Any app is, installed, it will immediately go, initial status will be waiting for config because the configuration has not done yet. Okay. So the QRadar integration app for IBM SOAR is also in waiting for config because it has not been configured yet. But if you see the SOAR LDAP utilities, So status says ready for use, which has been configured, and then ready to use. And this is also REST API functions for SOAR. It's ready to use. Let's see what is the difference. If we go to details, here on install app. So the details here is that install app, configure and test, deploy to AppHost, ready for use. Okay. So basically it has 3 steps. You need to do 3 steps so that you can use an app on the SOAR platform. So first is the install one, which we have done. Second part is the configure and test, which we need to do using the configuration tab here. Third part is deploy to AppHost. The deploy to AppHost is basically the steps or the process where the zip file is going to get pushed into the K3s environment and then eventually end up as a pods or a container to run within the environment. Okay, we'll see that how that happens. So let's go ahead and then just have a look at it. So I'll let you see how that pods look like. So you just have to be a little bit familiar about the Kubernetes environment, very basic, if not intermediate or advanced. So this is the very basic command to see the pods running in the environment or the platform. So what pods are running? So kubectl is the command. Kubectl. This is similar command to the OC, right, of OpenShift, if you are aware about the OpenShift platform. Kubectl get pods, okay, and then with a capital A, which will get all the pods running in all the namespace, right? So let me talk about if those people who are not aware about the namespace, right? So a namespace provides the scope for pods, right? Pods or services or deployments in the cluster, right? So user interacting, who are the users of the platform interacting with one namespace, okay, do not see the content in another namespace. So that's the isolation is done. And pods, obviously, pods are the smallest deployable units in a Kubernetes object model. You can think of a pod, like it represents a single instance of a running process in the entire cluster, right? So you can think of it like that. If you see the namespace, let's see, make it a little more readable. Okay. If you see this cube system, and there are probably 7 pods currently running, okay? Ready, 1 of 1, 1 of 1, 1 of 1. If you see all are 1 of 1, that means there is no problem with any of the AppHost environment. Basically, it's running very smoothly. If you see anything 0 of 1 or something like that, that's a problem. Okay. By default, anything that has a name, deployment synchronizer, code DNS, deployment operator, metric server, local path provisioner, there's all 5 pods are the default pods. Okay, so it has to run and it has to have a status of running and it has to be 1 of 1 in ready state, so that so that is the a good healthy sign of a AppHost, SOAR AppHost. And then you see these random numbers. These are the applications. So once installed, the strings are generated randomly in a namespace where your deployment operator, okay, or your deployment synchronizer are running. So if you see deployment operator, deployment synchronizer, and these 2 apps are running within the same namespace, okay, that is also generated. There are 2 namespaces. One is kube system for code DNS metrics and local path, and then another namespace is for the deployments and apps. All right, having said that, let's go ahead and try to run an app. Okay, so right now we have 7 pods. If I go ahead and then try to run this, let's say QRadar integration. Okay, how we can do is that we have to select here the app host. Okay, if you have multiple app host and compatible with this version, then this app host will be listed in here. Choose an app host. I'm going to choose app host and then go to configuration, and here you have two sections. Okay, one is app settings, another is app secrets. Now what are those? App settings basically provides you with the two files. One is the certificate and another is the app config, from where app config is the one that we probably need to configure it. Okay, so you go there. Okay, we go there and then you'll see any kind of format here where you have a block followed by name and value pair. Okay, so here if you see function QRadar integration, that has to be there, colon, okay, colon, the label. Okay, why label? Because you can also, with the help of the label, you can integrate multiple QRadar same integration, multiple QRadar same instances with this integration. So it can be one of my DC and it can be one of my DR. Okay, so multiple integrations can be done with this configuration. All right, and then respective host or IP addresses, username, and password. Now, one thing I would like to mention here is that, so if you are wondering, username is okay, but how can I give my password or provide my password with the plain text? Anybody can, who has the access to the SOAR platform, would be able to see this, which is a valid concern. Okay, and now to tackle that, we have the secrets. Okay, that's there. So if I go ahead and then cancel, so the app secrets, this is the second part section of this screen. Optionally, you can substitute a secret for any password in the app.config file. Create a secret, then enter the secret name preceded by $sign followed by the secret name. Okay, so here what I can do, I can go ahead and create here add secret, or if you are in the app.config file, you have the secret screen here. You don't have to go back and then create secrets. You can create secrets from the same screen. Okay, now what I can do here is add a secret, and then I'll say secret name is QRadar password. Okay, or maybe QRadar host one password. All right, and then value password. So any password I have selected, and then there is a checkbox. Encrypt the secret so that it is hidden in shell script on the app host. For more information, see the protected secrets. Okay. So this is, there is secret and there is protected secrets. Okay. Protected secrets basically to avoid, what is protected secrets? So to avoid including confidential data in your application code, you can use secrets to protect sensitive data. So this is what we are doing, right? So the application code is not having the clear text password. So you can use the, secret. Now, while running some of these shell scripts, so this value may be expanded. I mean, if you are giving $sign, and then giving the value of that variable may be expanded, or let's create, okay, curate a host and password. So instead of change me, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a $sign and then all the variables. I'm not going to call it variables because these are kind of variables, but we call it secret because these are going into the vault, right? So this is QRadar host one password. All right. Now, if you are familiar with the shell script, you might be wondering, this is looking like a shell variable. So can I go ahead and do on the SOAR platform? I can do echo followed by the $QRadar host one password, and it can give me the value, but that is not the case. So if I go here and then I'm on the SOAR AppHost Q echo dollar and then the variable. So this, and it returns nothing. So it's not a normal variable. Okay, that's a secret. So this variable you can use, and again, even if someone has access to this, some user has access to this, so they would not be able to find it out. Why? If you click in here, okay, you can copy can copy and paste secret into script, okay? But you're not going to copy the value, secret value, even if you know, so this is blank. Also, there is a show password button, okay? Even if you click it, this is just normal script, browsing script, right? So if you have any value, it's going to reveal it, but there is nothing in here, so nothing to reveal. All right. Now, encrypted secret. Encrypted secret is something that, I mean, if you want to further protect some of the secrets which cannot expand during a shell scripts, that you can do. So let's say host to password, and then I put some value, okay, and then encrypt it and update. So there, you see, there is a padlock sign alongside this host, sorry, the secret. So this is an encrypted secret. And then the normal secret, not encrypted one, are seen in plain like this with a padlock. This is the encrypted secret. You can directly, you know, you can read more about the protected secrets in here. Okay. There are commands in the documentation, so I'm not going to go through that. So how you can retrieve the value out of the vault for these secrets, those are readily available for you in the documentation. All right, once you do that, once you do this configuration, you give the host name, you give this, let's go ahead and type the IP for the sake of it. And then, but this is a non-existent IP, cannot reach. I'm just going to do it anyway, just to see how it's going. Okay, so once this is done, once you have configured this sections properly, you're going to go ahead and then do the test configuration. Before we go there and do that, so what I can do, get kubectl, get pods -a, and then I'm going to do pass a W sign so that, you know, continuously monitor the pods in the environment, and then if anything pops up, it's going to be, it's like a tailf for get pods. All right, this is a test configuration. Once this is test configuration is there, so probably you see this container creating, pending, okay, and then running. All right, so I'm going to click cancel and then kubectl logs followed by the container name, _cv, and then -n and followed by the namespace. Okay. All right. So here, fail to find QRadar host one password and protected secret to properly deploy our app. Please make sure QRadar host one password is correctly configured. Of course, that is wrong because it doesn't. So this password, you know, is not properly configured. So checking if we can authenticate trust connection with this to soar.example.com. One. Okay. So this is a wrong configuration. We're not going to look at these errors because it doesn't make any sense because this is wrongly configured. So the motive behind doing this is that this pods, anything you do test and run, so it goes ahead and, you know, perform those tests. It create a container, okay, and from within that container, it goes ahead and try to reach the server, okay. So in this case, which is this pod. All right, so now if we go ahead and then, you know, do the command kubectl get pods -a. So it says running state, another pod is running state, okay, 1 of 1. But if you go ahead and then the test is, you know, it's trying to keep on going on. So I'm just going to cancel it, okay, because I know nothing is going to happen there, because the host itself is not reachable. So if I go there and then let's say W, so it says terminating, meaning because the test was unsuccessful, so it's going to tear apart this container because it doesn't make any sense to run a container which does nothing, right? Test failed and it has nothing to do. So it's going to clean up that container, which is the basic feature of Kubernetes. All right, so this is terminating. So eventually it will go away. Okay, eventually. So that that's gone now. See, this terminating, and then now we have 7. Okay, so this is how this, you know, integration works. All right. So once I'm going to click navigate from this page. Yes. So that is about that is about this integration, how you do this. And now let's look at a integration which has been done successfully. Okay, just go to details. If you want to have a look at this, you have to go to the details and then see the app status. That means it's ready for use. Okay. Once this ready for use, this customizations and then configuration. Okay. Now this configuration, if you go there, app.config. Okay. So if you see this, this is my LDAP server. So I've given this a label example. So with this syntax, I can have another, you know, section where I can have another LDAP server with different LDAP server code and various parameter. I can give it another example, let's say example 1 or some other level of the domain or something like that, right? So here I've given the server host name, port, user I have given, but the password, right? So the password is the test password, by the way. And then this demo AD, right? So this demo AD is the pass. Now, this password is being used from demo AD pass. If you see that demo AD pass is a protected secret, okay? And resi host, so instead of using this soar.example.com, I'm using, so this is commented out, meaning this line is not in, execution. So this resi host dollar, this is again a secret. If you click on it, you are going to get nothing, okay? You can reveal the secret from the command line using the vault. So that's done. So once that is done, what you're going to do, test configuration. If it is successful, you'll see this yellow banner which says the last test was successful. Okay, so I'm not going to run it again. It was already successful. So I'm going to go away from this screen, cancel it. Okay, app list, and probably once this is ready to use, right? Ready to use. So go to details and then customizations. And here on the customizations, you see this what it has to offer, right? So most likely we'll be seeing this searches and everything here. Go to the playbooks. How do you know what are the playbooks here? So on the app itself, right? We go to the app exchange. Let's say we select not verify, QRadar SOAR. So we got that. And then LDAP. You see this one? If you can see the contents, data tables, functions, incident fields, playbooks. So this integration has to offer 7 playbooks, 1 script, 1 data tables. Okay, so these are the content. So it says playbook 7. So I'm going to go ahead and then look at the playbooks. Okay, and then these are the playbooks which contains the word LDAP 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, let's have a look at LDAP search. This is a very basic thing we can do LF search, right? So this is the playbook. We'll talk about, we'll go through each of these, section, functions, task, script. We'll go there in the playbook section. Right now, let's look at this playbook. It says the first thing, artifact activated. What does it mean? This means that this playbook can be invoked with the object type artifact, because right, from our earlier section, so we have different object in the SOAR platform. For example, artifact is one, incident is one, right? So another type, there are a lot of other types. Also, task is another one, like that. And so we know that this is an artifact. So let's go ahead and go to an incident. Okay, let's go to this test234. Go to an artifact. And this, let's click. So the manual playbook, right? If it is an artifact, you have to come to that playbook can be invoked using the artifact only, on artifacts only. So for artifacts, you can go, if you want to find all the artifacts, there is a global artifacts button here, which will pull in all the artifacts from entire platform, or incident related artifacts will be attached to the artifacts within the incident itself, right? So go to the action, and then this will give the eligible playbooks, which are or compatible playbooks or the workflows to display here. So it will display all those here. But it says it will be activated on the artifact, but I'm not able to see any of the LF related playbook. What's wrong? Let's go ahead and see why it was not showing up. So search and artifact activated. So this, if you see, I mean, if it is not showing up based on artifact, that means that must have some conditions, right? So if you see this, just increase a little bit. So this is the condition, and then artifact type is equal to email recipient. Artifact type, user account, string, and email sender. These are the type of artifact on which you can invoke this playbook, right? So we're going to go ahead and then go to that incident 234, and then it says email sender. Okay, so artifacts, I do not have an email sender. Let's see details. So this guy has sent or reported this incident. I'm going to, add in an artifact type of email sender. Okay, and the value is example.com create. Okay, now that I have a artifact type email sender, let's go ahead and click on the action button. All right, yeah, there. You see this example LDAP utility search. Okay, now the search is visible because this is an artifact type email sender. And then condition met, so we can see this one. Click on this one. So this pop-up is coming up because this is not configured. I mean, let's say one-off, this manual one. So this can be automated through scripts, right? During the execution or response phase that we'll see in the playbook section. So right now I'm going to go ahead and then give the values there. My user base for the demo, LDAP or Active Directory is DC example, DC equal to com. CN equal to users is the user base. And if you happen to remember, the integration has a label of example, right? Just going to execute it. Okay, it says the, successfully executed. If you happen to, have any error, then it will come up. So SOAR LDAP utilities added a row to the data table LDAP query results. Okay, it's a hyperlink. If you click on it, so it's going to take you to the LDAP query result. It is on the My Custom tab. So if you are wondering how it came there, go to customization, go to incident tabs, and then go to custom tab, and here you can customize. So LDAP query is a data table provided by that integration. You just need to know, you just have to click on this and then drag and drop, okay? And then click on save. So it will show up here. You can put it on any of the task or the tab. You can create new one, place it wherever you like based on your convenience. Go there and go to 234. And this can be very well customized. You can pull as many fields as you like from the AD. So this is what the integration is about. This you can do. And playbook progress. This is the playbook progress. So it says playbooks 1, how many is running, if anything is error out, completed 1, right? And this is the details of the playbook, when it is completed, okay, instance details and everything. So if we go ahead and then do a simple one, just give me a minute, my task, and then go to artifacts. All right, and I'll show you if we are doing something wrong, so what happens. Just give it, I'll just execute it, okay? I will say following fields are required, close, okay? So this kind of information probably will cn equal to users, comma, example, dc equal to example, comma, dc equal to com, execute successfully, this one, and then probably it will come, but eventually it takes some time, and then you see this playbook progress error. One is the error out, and you'll see here the error. This is how you see the error, okay? no domain was given and is required if servers are labeled in app.config. App.config, we have labeled example and we have needs to provide that. So this is how you can, have a check why the playbook error out. All right. So this is all about this app integration in the first part of it.